Matamu too.
Welcome back to the Matamu 2 podcast, and we're just going to get right into it on a very controversial food, that is Njahi. And today joining me is a self-confessed lover of Njahi and a friend of the podcast, one of our co-producers. Karibu sana, Sherry.
Thank you so much.
Now, since the last time that Sherry was here, she has created the bombest new product that we really enjoy. And I've spoken about it quite a few times here on the podcast, and she'll tell us about it a bit later on. But now let's just jump right into it. So why is Njahi so maligned in the zeitgeist? Why do people not like Njahi?
People who don't like Njahi don't have good taste.
Straight up, by the way.
Straight up.
Sikobaya.
It's so versatile. You can make it into anything with everything.
I don't know about make it into anything, but you can make it with everything.
You can stew it. It can be a mokimo. You can make it into a burger.
Straight up, though.
Into a salad, like fam. So many things.
So many things.
You can even make it into artwork. Come on.
Yeah, well, now that you've mentioned artwork, you've reminded me that my brothers actually made a picture frame using different colors of beans. So Njahi made an appearance because black, right?
See.
And to this day, we're actually still using it at home. It was made in the 70s.
Long lasting.
So the writer Kari Baraka has done a very good exposition for the Serious Eats blog on Njahi. I gleaned quite a bit of info for this episode from it, and linked the article in the show notes if you want to read it for yourself. But to begin, what is Njahi? For my non-Kenyan listeners, hi guys. Njahi is the name in the Kikuyu language for the Kenyan black bean. Sometimes it's called the hyacinth bean. They are black beans with a white stripe running down the middle, and they are the one food that I can say, those ones are ours. They are native to Africa. It's one of the first staple foods for the Agikuyu people before colonization introduced other beans, the browns, the wairimos, the nyayos.
So we can say colonization, or rather the colonizer is the one who made Kenyans dislike Njahi. I think so. But I know also because when Njahi was disliked, it was... Other beans were favored by the colonizer because they knew the other beans. There's the whole history with they brought all these other beans, and then farmers had to stop with Njahi to actually start growing all these beans.
Actually, yes.
Am I right?
You're right on the money. You're right on the money.
I went to school.
Sorry, yes. So Kari Baraka goes into a very good exposition on it. You can read. I'll leave you the link in the show notes for you to read that. But now, Njahi, you've had a lot of sayings with Njahi in them in the Kikuyu language, yes?
Yes, and usually Njahi within the Kikuyu culture is mostly looked at upon like a fertility kind of thing, especially when it comes to lactation.
Yes.
So if a Kikuyu says like I'm going to someone's house to eat Njahi, they essentially say I'm going to see a newborn. Because Njahi is given to new mothers to help with lactation.
I didn't know that. Interesting. Well, it is actually thought to encourage lactation, and historically it's been the main dish for breastfeeding mothers. Where they are boiled and mashed with ripe or semi-ripe bananas, and that's give it a sweet taste, which I think...
And that's how it best slaps like that.
It does though. I need to make that very soon. So now, a fun fact is that some Njahi species actually have purple pods when they are on the plant.
You know, that makes sense, because once you mash Njahi, what color is it?
I don't know.
It's purple.
Really?
Purple mokimo is Njahi.
I've never mashed, so I don't know. This is new information to me. I need to try it out.
Okay, dear viewer, dear listener, purple mokimo is Njahi mokimo.
Okay, now we know.
And it's
I need
fantastic.
to actually try.
You have never had this?
No, I haven't.
Have you not gone to a Kikuyu wedding before?
With the mokimo they had there was green.
No, there's green and then there's purple. And also any other Kikuyu gathering where it's like a mass of this, you have the soupy waru and carrots, and then there's Njahi somewhere along there that people don't really go for, but it's the best part of everything, apart from the chapel.
I really need to try this out. So, actually another thing that I found out is that not all Njahis are black. You actually have other different colors depending on the cultivar.
No.
Yeah.
No.
So you have like white, and you have some that like white with black underneath. It's really interesting. Like
I feel like those white Njahis have betrayed the black.
So what's some memorable Njahi related experience that you had growing up?
Not exactly memorable, but for me, Njahi signifies the love that both my grandmothers have for me. Because it is... Stop it. It's been my favorite food since I was, about 16, because that's the first time I had it, like, really, really well.
Okay.
We'd never had Njahi at home.
Okay.
My grandma sent over Njahi. We'd not cooked it. It was boiled. And then it was stewed with carrots. No, you cook carrots till they're melting.
That sounds good.
Yeah, God.
That sounds
I
really
had
good.
3 plates, man. And it was around the period when you could not get me to eat any veggies.
Yeah.
So I ate 3 plates and I was just like, this is life-changing.
It changed your mind.
It changed
your
everything
life.
for me. So even when I moved out to go to campus, I used to cook Njahi.
Interesting.
Out of everything else I'd cook, Njahi had to be there.
You might be the only person I know who actually used to cook Njahi in campus, because the rest of us could not be bothered.
Okay, considering I had my own place and a fully furnished kitchen.
We are sorry. So,
Courtesy of my grandmother.
okay, your grandmothers were really loving.
They come through.
You can tell.
Hey,
I think for me, Njahi, I used to really enjoy watching the transformation, because I wasn't always in the kitchen, but like whenever they would make Njahi, somehow I would be in the kitchen, and I would see these very black beans go into the fire and then come out brown, and I'm like, okay. And even when they pour out the water, it's brown. It's not black. So I'm like, where did the black go? So what's a Njahi dish you'd consider sacrilegious?
None.
Really?
None.
Really?
None.
Really?
None.
Interesting. You'd eat anything as long as it's Njahi?
I would eat any form of Njahi, even if you mashed it and made it into a pancake. I will show up and I'll eat it.
Talking about mashing it and making it into a pancake, there are these bean parties that were very popular back in the 90s, right? All our mothers used to make them, where they would boil the beans, mash them up, and then mix up with a bit of onions, right? Mm-hmm. Onions and a couple of spices, and then I'll fry that and serve it as a side to whatever else that you're eating. So it was just making the beans fancy, right?
It should have been the main dish.
Well,
because what is it aside to?
Now, I don't know how my mother used to make those things. Like it would be served with as a light snack, actually, not even as a light snack.
Njahi as a snack, I respect that. So Njahi is a bad bitch. Can do anything.
The thing is that I would be like, okay, this should not make sense because you have mashed this thing. Mm-hmm. Okay, speaking as, I actually love the flavors of Njahi, the earthy notes,
the texture.
It's fantastic. I love Njahi. But then I was like, how are you going to mash this thing and then put it in like with onions and then fry that again? It's like, but why?
It makes sense. Even when you boil Njahi, or rather, even my favorite form of Njahi involves onions to some extent.
To some extent.
I think when we get to the part where you ask me about how I like my Njahi, I will explain.
Okay.
And you will see how
we shall get to that point.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm not out here to change anybody's mind, but a Taiwanese researcher found out that a carbohydrate binding protein from Njahi effectively blocks infections of influenza viruses, including the SARS-CoV-2 and other coronaviruses.
Wait, you would say Njahi ni dawa ya COVID?
Ni dawa ya COVID. So maybe you should eat your Njahi, right?
Should tell this to our moms, the way they'll go off on those WhatsApp groups.
You guys! So yeah, you actually do need to eat your Njahi so that you can not get COVID infections. Mm-hmm. Another reason you should eat Njahi is because it's a very good source of insoluble fiber.
Yes.
Which is said to cleanse the gut, reduce blood pressure, keeps your blood sugar in check by slowing down the release of simple sugars, and also facilitating removal of excess fluids through the kidneys. And Njahis also have something called phenols, which are supposed to help reduce weight. So you really have to eat your Njahi, guys.
Njahi is making more sense than dengue does. What is dengue, by the way?
Let's not go there. Dengue
is, you see, dengue is mchanga. Essentially, you have to do so much to dengue to make it taste good.
No, you don't actually.
You have first of all, you start with the washing. If
you just wash. Even Njahi, you'll have to wash.
Yeah, you wash it, but then Njahi is chill. Dengue, it's tiny, and then the rocks are also the same size. So you're just eating rocks. You're just eating rocks. No, I'm telling the truth. Anyone who went to boarding and you guys, you ate ugali and dengu, you know what I'm talking about.
You know, actually, that's like one of the things I need to go and cook tonight.
No way. How are we friends?
Actually, thank you for giving me a dinner idea, because I was really wondering what I'm having for dinner tonight. I've really missed dengu and ugali.
I am never eating over
and white cabbage. And white cabbage that has just been lightly fried with
I feel like you need to go back to boarding. You need to go back to that school you were in, because that is exactly where your taste buds are. That is exactly where your taste buds are.
But it slapped!
It does not.
So before we go on, if you're here watching this, good for you. That's where you need to be. If you're wondering what I'm talking about, I need you to go into the show notes. I've left a link to the video version of this podcast. You can go onto our YouTube page, that is Matamu 2, and make sure you like, subscribe, share, all those good things. And even, put on the notification so that you don't miss a new upload, right? Please guys, just do it.
A friend the other day told me, when I told him like we were doing Njahi as part of the podcast, he told me like, I imagine going to a hardware. And then, there's always like sand. Like that sand is how Njahi tastes like. That sand outside. That's
the real slander.
Steve, I'm talking to you. You really hurt my feelings.
Njahi is not sold in the hardware. It's sold in the shop, right? Next to the other beans. And not the hardware.
And the fact that it costs more than your other legumes.
Actually,
it's fancy, bro.
And you can actually use Njahi as an ornamental houseplant.
Yes.
It has very beautiful purple flowers. And if you snip when they're growing, you don't actually have to grow the actual Njahi.
Yeah,
so Njahi makes sense. And
so much sense.
You can eat the leaves. The leaves are actually very edible, like other beans.
I have a question.
Yes.
Do the leaves get you high?
No,
I'm going back to our Waru episode where potatoes were getting people high. No.
Njahi, the beans thankfully don't have those highness compounds. They're actually really good because they're very nice sources of iron, I think, and folates and B complex vitamins. So, like Njahi it's nice.
So much going on for it. Like
you should be eating your Njahi.
Eat your Njahi.
So, Sherry, how do you usually make your Njahi?
I don't make it myself.
Who makes it for you then?
My grandma.
Yeah. Must be nice to have grandmothers.
Wow.
Sigh.
You made it so sad. Jeez.
Sorry. So how do your grandmas make the Njahi for you?
They both have variations of how they make it, but essentially it's one food. It's mokimo, the purple mokimo. And
the purple one.
I'm not keep saying, but I love the color purple, and the fact that my favorite food is purple. Everything in the world makes so much sense.
Okay. I don't see the sense, but go on.
Okay, so you boil your Njahi. Yes. Obviously, you're boiling it on an open fire, so it cooks faster because of the higher heat. So it's not, you're not cooking it for hours on gas. I think that's one of the reasons people don't.
Yeah, because they do take a while. Like you have to soak and then boil for forever.
Because you disrespect the gas, and then it's like, bro, bye. So you boil it, and then when it's still hot, you throw in your ripe matoke bananas. One of my grandmas does fully ripe, only ripe. Yes. And my other grandma has both ripe and unripe. She just boils the unripe, and then you mash it.
Ooh.
So let me tell you, when you eat it when it's hot, oh my god, goddamn.
It just sounds like a good slap.
Oh my god, it slaps so
I
hard.
think I would do to improve that. Okay, I'm just about to
No,
go
wait,
into
I'm
slander
not
territory.
I'm not even done.
Oh,
I'm
it
not
gets
even
better.
done. It's a process.
Oh, it gets
like
better.
that is one way to eat it.
Uh-huh.
So you wait until the next day.
Yes.
When the flavors settle and they marry and it's just so good, making sense. Now you karanga it with onions.
Okay.
And then you don't cook them too much. You still want that crunch with a bit of garlic and red chilies.
Yes.
I feel like red chilies make much more sense when
Yes.
they're just a bit more crunchy
Uh-huh.
with fennel-greek.
Okay.
I know fennel-greek doesn't make sense when I say it like that, but
Kind of. I can see the flavor.
when you toast them in the oil with the onions and everything, so that the oil has the flavor. Then you throw in the mokimo and just fold the oil into it.
Okay.
My friend.
No, I can see the flavor notes. I was actually just about to say that a thing you could do is the next day, and I'm going to get into a bit of slander here. The next day, with that mokimo mash, what you could do is I was going to go with cumin. Cumin fennel, same was up.
If you say cinnamon, I will scream.
No cinnamon, just cumin, fennel, or fenugreek. You make mokimo balls, dust them a bit so that they can have that flavor, and then use your panko or the normal kind of
I see where you're
breadcrumbs.
going, and I love it. And I love
And
it.
then like do egg, panko. So like double dip, please.
Yes,
We only
yes.
double dip. I'm sorry. And then I'll fry that in hot oil. And then now once you serve that, probably with like a chutney based dip for some sweetness.
Guess who has that?
Yeah. So like that's what I was thinking. I should really try this out. I need to find.
You should.
Please, can you ask your grandmother to give me a recipe for the mashed?
Like,
so
bruh, I just gave you the recipe. There's no need to write anything down. It's
I have to listen and
exactly how
follow.
it is.
Okay.
You
good.
don't just follow the
Listen and follow.
instructions.
That's all I need to do.
Just-
I shall
yeah.
do that. I shall do that, and I shall share it on my Instagram. Please, you can follow me on social media at Reumac on all platforms. That's where I'll be posting up quite a bit of the recipes that I'll be making. Now, I'm told the secret to a tasty njahi is integrating cumin into your dish and going heavy on the spices so that you can counteract the blandness / earthiness.
Njahi is not bland, and I will fight anyone who says
Okay,
so.
for the people who like to say it's bland, you can go heavy on the spices. Njahi really takes up the spices pretty well. So, what's a njahi recipe you'd want to try?
Now, our good friend Gatwiri of
Yes.
Leo Tunapika, she just unveiled a cookbook, a vegetarian cookbook, and I think there's a njahi burger there.
Is it?
And I really, really want to try it.
Okay.
It's, I don't know. I want to eat njahi in all its forms.
It
And
sounds like it would be
having
interesting, right?
a vegan burger feels like it would slap.
It would though.
And Gatwiri knows what she's doing.
Quite a lot.
She knows what she's doing. So I am very, very excited for that burger and for other vegetarian recipes.
Obviously. I think the one I want to try, I'm going to leave a link to this recipe. I found it online, and it's one of those things that sounds like it shouldn't work, but it'll slap like a nonsense. So it's a Guinness garlic, cumin, and njahi stew, where you're actually soaking the njahi in Guinness overnight and then stewing it. And I don't know. I think it'll work.
That sounds so sus.
I think it'll work.
Sounds so suspicious. My God.
I'm going to try it and I'm going to post it up on my Instagram, so make sure you're following me there. Now, Sherry, this is the bit where you get to tell us what you've been doing.
Hey! Since the last episode, I've become a co-producer of this podcast. So within the show notes, my name is
Sherry's struggling to say show notes. So notes.
It's the S. The S's are running. In fact, there's something we had to cut out, and
Yeah. Anyway.
Lord. Okay. Yeah. Then I came up with. I'd been working with on a compote essentially. It was a very accidental recipe because I watch a lot of YouTube videos and then a lot of Korean drama. So I'm just like, these elements would work together. So
Korean drama. I'm still like Korean drama. I'm like, what? Interesting.
Like essentially, this compote. It's a compote because it's cooked fruit, which is pineapple. Then there's ginger, garlic. There's chilies, obviously, vinegar, honey. So it's essentially a garlic pineapple dawa in a jar.
Okay.
And you use it as a condiment, or you can cook with it, or you can use it on a salad dressing, or in a protein shake, apparently. And
I
in
think,
booze. So
I think it's so versatile. I've
is.
seen people using it almost in everything, as you said, even as a compliment to a shooter. It's one of my favorite things to eat. I always make sure that I have like a bottle somewhere close by. That I can
okay, first of all, him saying he's making sure he has a bottle is because this man has been getting samples since nearly day one.
Nachoma.
Since
Nachoma. They're watching. They're watching.
But yes, he did buy a jar. He's now a customer, and we appreciate you for that.
Mazisi nimechomewa tu. Hey.
Well, did I lie?
Hey.
Did I lie? But that is because you've been part of the whole process, like from the get-go, in terms of like, do the flavors work together? Though towards the end, you didn't really. What I liked, you didn't like at some point.
See, but that's human.
No, but.
Yeah.
But look at you. You're eating what I liked. Because it's ginger heavy. The ginger is essentially pickled in pineapple juice.
Yeah. And it's really good. I really enjoy Sherry's pepper.
It is fantastic.
So where can people get this lovely compote of yours?
We are on Instagram and Twitter.
Yes, I'm going to leave the link to their Instagram and their Twitter on the show notes. You need to get yourself a bottle. Do it now.
Just get one, and if you do not finish it within a week, my friends,
it usually doesn't last that long. You will eat it. Believe me, you will eat it.
I have people eating it with a spoon.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It's really fantastic.
I find that really crazy. And if you don't like Njahi or greens, this is how you like it, because essentially it has become the thing that is making me eat other things. I don't like dengu at all.
As she said earlier in the episode, she doesn't like dengu.
Dengu tastes like dreams you don't even, like not even like dreams.
Slander, man.
Not even.
Dengu is bomb.
Dengu tastes like sleep paralysis.
Guy.
You can't get up out of this nightmare. You just have to be there.
Dengu is the best.
You have to experience it till it's ishas.
It's the best.
But now, with Sherry's pepper, the sleep paralysis ghost.
This Ndengu slander, I don't know where it came from. We were friendly with Ndengu, all of a sudden, I don't know. Anyway, get your bottle of Sherry's pepper. You're going to really enjoy it, and you're going to be thanking us for getting this into your life. It's all you need. Believe me that. It is all you need.
And since we're working on something else, it's mango season.
Yes.
So we're working on a mango chutney.
Ooh, that should be fun.
Oh God, it's going to be so good.
I look forward.
And it's going to be seasonal, because what is a mango but...
Anyway.
Seasons enduring.
So that's the end of this episode of the Matamu 2 podcast. Thank you so much for joining us, Sherry.
I'm always here, bruh.
Please like and subscribe and share this with your friends. Your friends need to listen to all of this slander and jokes and they're called what? Majibu ya polisi.
Come on, you can't be that basic.
Okay, what do you call them?
Try something else. No, you're the one who's fast with words.
Okay, they've gone. Please go to Sherry's page, linked in the show notes, and you can actually get some of the compote. It's called Sherry's Pepper.
Yes, and it's you can find us on Instagram and on Twitter at Sherry's. That's Pepper. That's SHERRY _ pepper, like Peppa Pig, like PEPPAH.
You have to say it like that. Otherwise, that makes any sense. We're going to leave those links in the show notes. Please make sure you go and get yourself some compote. As always, you can send in your thoughts for the Matamu Extra via the email address that is in the show notes, and we can feature you, your voice note, or your comments. For now, it's your boy Reumac telling you to keep calm and love Njahi.